Alright, so today we are going to be working on the Pathfinder and shapebuilder assignment. I'm sorry I am not going to be with you here today, but I will make this little video for you, and you will be able to hopefully complete this assignment while I am out for the next 2 days. So, again, this artboard, or this project, we're going to start with two artboards. 10 by 10 will be fine. The first artboard we will use to complete all the Pathfinder tools, and then the second one will be all of the shapebuilder tools. I will show you how to use all the Pathfinder tools, and then you will begin to use or build a flower using the shapebuilder tool. Okay, you must replicate that flower using the shapebuilder tool, copy and rotate, and I'll show you how to do all that. Okay, and on the first artboard you'll actually try out all the different Pathfinder tools to see what they do. Okay, so the Pathfinder tools you need to use here are join, minus front, intersect, exclude, divide, trim, outline, minus back, and crop. Okay, they all do different things. The biggest one that you want to worry about, though, I feel, is the join and minus front. Join is going to be one of the biggest, probably most powerful tools you can use when you start to figure out how to use it correctly. So today we're just going to be combining simple shapes, but it can also be obviously used for combining multiple different shapes, simplifying your cut paths if you need to do that, which we will get into a little bit later, but at least this way you will be able to see and use all of these tools. Again, the objectives for this assignment: just learn how to use the various modes of the Pathfinder tool to make desired objects or shapes using the pen and shape tools. Learn how to use the shape builder, and then learn how to use copy and rotate. Okay, grading, basically if you've tried and labeled all the Pathfinder tools and then you have created an absolute copy of the flower that I will show you how to make. Okay, so let's get into Illustrator, and we can go ahead and start our artwork with a file new. Thinking here a little bit. Alright, so new document, we can call this one Pathfinder and Shape Builder. Again, two artboards, and these two artboards, we're going to change this to 10 by 10. Alright, and make sure your units is in inches. Okay, so 10 by 10 artboard, Pathfinder Shape Builder, sounds good. Again, make sure you save this to your folder in your groups drive, or in the groups drive, and that should be okay for you. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you are going to want to use the text tool to place a number 1 up here, and you are going to label each of these different Pathfinder tools. And in order to find the Pathfinder tools, what you want to do is you want to go to Window and scroll down, or go down to Pathfinder. Okay, make sure that yours is selected. It probably is not by default, so you select this, and you can see mine disappeared because it was already selected. But if you select this, you will get this nice little box that shows up over here, and you can see all of these different options. So you can start with unite or join, you have minus front, you have intersect, you have exclude, divide, trim, merge, crop, outline, and minus back. Okay, I'm not exactly sure which ones. You'll have to play with these. Some of these need to be solid filled in shapes, and others just need to be outlines. Okay, some of them just need to be any type of shape, so you kind of have to play around with that a little bit, but they're all pretty straightforward to use. Okay, so what you want to do with the first one, we are going to do unite. So you will label it like this, and then you can create two different shapes, whichever shapes you want. I'm just going to start here with a square and a circle. Alright, so I have these two shapes, and I need to overlap them in some way. So I'm going to just intersect this. Maybe I wanted to create some sort of a combination of these two shapes. Maybe I wanted to put a circle out on the end of this. Okay, but see, right now these are two different shapes. I cannot combine these, so if I wanted to fill each of these, I would have to fill them separately, right? But now if I use the unite, so if I select both of these, and again, just holding shift will allow me to select more than one object. You can see these are both selected now. If I go to this pathfinder tool and use the unite button, you will see that it will get rid of the shape or the line between the two and will make this into one shape. Okay, so very, very powerful tool, especially if you're dealing with multiple objects. Okay, you can unite them into one and make one nice united shape all the way around it. Okay, now if I change the color, it will change the color for the whole thing. Okay, so there's unite. Again, very, very powerful tool. Okay, next, go to your text tool. We'll do two. Okay, this one is minus front. Okay, so using shapes again, we can use a circle, and let's put another rectangle in here. Okay, now this is important to know which one is on top of the other one. Okay, so which layer is on top, and this one I believe it is the square. Okay, so what I want to do here is maybe I'm going to want to make some sort of a Pac-Man type of a shape. Okay, so I can use this square, put it over the top of this circle, and if I select both of these, again holding the shift key, and do minus front, it is going to delete that shape or the outline of the shape inside that other first shape. Okay, and so now I've essentially made a nice Pac-Man type of a shape by combining two other shapes. Okay, so I'm combining two other shapes. Now, number 3, again, go back to your text tool and label these. So we have intersect. Alright, so for intersect, again, two different shapes. We can start with a rectangle, and let's just do another rectangle here. Or now let's do a circle, so it'll, or a polygon. It'll be a little bit better. Okay, so maybe I want to make some kind of a unique shape here. Oops. Okay, maybe I just want to keep a little bit of this. I'm going to just keep the middle part here. So let's see here. Let's do an intersect. So you can see now it has gotten rid of both of the outside shapes and has just kept the overlapping piece. Okay, so this is the intersect here. Again, really kind of a cool thing. So you can obviously, all of these tools will allow you to make multiple different like complex shapes out of just these, 4 or 5 different shapes that they actually have here. Okay, if you are being creative and are using these, as overlapping and creating your own type of custom shapes. 4, we will see is exclude. Okay, so you are going to create a compound shape here where instead of intersect where we kept the overlapping pieces, this should keep only it should keep everything else but the overlapping pieces. So let's make a little circle here around this. We will select both of them, again holding the shift key, hit the exclude, and you can see now that I have a complex shape here. It's all one shape, but it has taken out essentially the middle part or wherever they overlap. Okay, so I took a nice chunk out of this one while keeping this over here. Okay, so that is exclude. Now pathfinders, same thing, has to deal with the paths. So I believe that these cannot be filled. They have to be simply paths. Okay, so number 5 is divide, and this one might I think can do with shapes. Hold on. Okay, so again, a couple shapes. Select both of them, holding shift. Now I'm going to hit the divide button. Okay, and it doesn't appear as if anything has happened. However, you can see now when I go to click on this shape, okay, I can pull just each of these shapes out by themselves. They are their own individual shapes now. Okay, so essentially divide just traces those paths and um, slices those shapes so that you can then divide each of these shapes based on where you want them. Again, if you're having troubles, just go back to your direct selection tool or ungrouping these objects so that you can move them individually. But there, so that's divide. 6, we have trim. And again, we can just do a couple of rectangles here. Select both. And trim. Okay, so trim takes out the line where they overlap, but while still keeping the shapes. Okay, so if I use my direct selection tool, I can pull out just this shape out of the other one. So you can see it just trims that overlapping piece. Okay, similar to divide, but it doesn't actually create this third piece. It just makes 2 complete shapes versus 3. Okay, so it just trims that inside piece. It doesn't trace all the way around it. All right, merge here. We'll skip merge. Okay, merge is if you wanted to combine these together again, which is very similar to unite. So don't worry about merge. We'll move on to crop. So we'll move on to number 7 is crop. Again, overlap a couple shapes. Select both. And crop. Okay, very similar. Keeps this path, but only keeps that inside shape here. Okay, and crops the other one out completely. Okay, so there's crop. Number 8 is outline. So again, select both shapes, go to outline, and you'll see what happens is it actually will delete any fill that you have in there. Okay, and it outlines the paths that you have, and then each path where it intersects is its own line now, or it's its own path. So if I were to take this direct selection tool and select just this path, oops. Okay, I can do that, and I can modify just these paths, by themselves, because they are each their own individual path now versus being all connected as shapes. Okay, so just different cool things you can do with the outline tool. Alright, and lastly, you have minus back, just like the minus front. However, now it will just delete the back, or the object that is in the back, versus the one that is in the front. Alright, so 2 shapes again. Okay, so this one now, you can see that the other shape, this first one that I drew, is in the back. Hold shift to select both objects, minus back, and it'll delete that back section out of this front section. Okay, so there you have them for the Pathfinder tools. Again, these should all be placed on the first artboard. Okay, so you'll have 9 of them. Again, we are going to skip merge, so you do not need to do merge. Okay, so all the other ones you need to do. Alright, so let's move on to shapebuilder tool. This is also a very, very cool tool. It is the one over here on the left. There is an arrow with a couple circles next to it. It's the best way that I can describe it. Okay, and when you come out and you change to the shapebuilder tool, by default there is no color on top. It looks just like this. Okay, But first of all, we need to create the shapes that we want to use with the shape builder tool. So you can't just create anything, you actually have to have some shapes available to you. So what we're going to start with is we're actually just going to start with a circle. And again, I said we will be making a flower, so in which we will. Okay, so you start with a circle, and let's do no fill on our circle, and we can do a small stroke. That's fine. All right, so now in order to keep this exactly like symmetrical, what I want to do is I want to use copy, paste, and like rotate. Okay, so first of all, we have one circle. We're going to just do a Control C, Control V. I'm going to paste another circle on here. Okay, now I'm going to move this circle so that the intersect here is right in the middle with the other one here. Actually, I'm going to go all right out to the end. So make sure that it's right in the middle and that they're kind of butted up just like this. Okay, so now I have both of these together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to copy and paste both of these, and then I want to take this new one that I've copied and pasted, and I'm going to rotate it. So under Object, I can go to Transform and Rotate, and I'm just going to put a 90-degree angle in there. Okay, and so then with my 90-degree angle, I am going to bring this up to the middle so that these intersect, just like this. Alright, so now I have all four of these. Very cool. Alright, so now I want to take this here and I'm going to copy and paste all of this again. And I'm going to get one more here. And now I'm going to actually rotate this object 45 degrees. Let's see. Actually, I don't want to do 45. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's 45 right there. Oh boy. Alright. So I want to keep this like this. I'm going to put this one again right in the middle. Okay. So now I have all of these crazy complex looking circles around this center point here. Alright, so this all started with just one circle. So now what I can do here is I can go to my shape builder tool, and again the first thing you want to do here is double click your shape builder tool, and so you'll get this nice little menu bar that pops up. Okay, and I want to make sure that this fill is in here. Okay, and I want to make sure that this cursor swatch preview is selected. It is not selected by default. Okay, so you want to make sure that this is selected. Hit OK. Alright, so now when I select this, go to the shape builder tool. Okay, make sure your object is selected. You'll see I have this color menu or palette up on top of here. Okay, so I can choose from all of these colors, and these colors are the colors that are in your swatches. Okay, you'll also see when I hover over an object, these will identify each of these individual shapes. Okay, and you can see right now that there is a plus here. Okay, and by holding the Alt key, I can get it to change to a minus. So what I want to do is actually, if you combine these, if I were to click and drag this, okay, it would combine those two shapes. Okay, and if I drag here, it would combine these shapes. Okay, if I hold the Alt key, it will delete those shapes. Okay, so which I kind of want to do here. I'm going to delete all of these extra like surrounding pieces. You can either add them all together like this and then delete them all, or you can just hold the Alt key and delete them all individually. Okay, so It's going to make a lot of other little mini shapes, which is fine. Just delete all of these, either that or go into the selection tool and select these and just delete them all. Okay, so now if I select this object again, go into the shape builder tool, okay, and now I can select from all of these colors here which colors I want. If I just click in there, it will paint that color that's selected in all of these petals. Alright, so let's go to yellow really quick, and I can select and paint in all of these petals as well. It's taking a little bit of time, which is fine. So there you have it, Pathfinder and Shape Builder. Feel free, go nuts. These will be due probably on Thursday when I come back. So any questions, I won't be around to help you until Thursday, but you can always refer back to this video whenever you get a chance. So, all right, thank you very much. Behave yourselves while I'm out.